Good morning and welcome to our virtual service. My name is Reverend James Parker. It's just such a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to jump right in and get started with the lesson. My lesson title today is The Ever-Increasing Power of Thanksgiving. Oprah Winfrey said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." Friends, historically, we have used this time of the year for coming together and feast and share festivities. Particularly, Thanksgiving is a time of celebration and a sign of the coming holiday season. It denotes a time to show gratitude for receiving something. It is a time of great harvest and thanksgiving. For true thanksgiving depends on having a grateful heart, even in the midst of hardships, setbacks, seeming injustice, loss, and dark times. True thanksgiving is gratitude for our oneness with the I Am. It is gratitude for our higher self. It is gratitude for our connection to the divine flow. It is positive energy that is open, ready, and willing to receive. Friends, there is no lack or limitation in the universe. There is a law of gratitude, and it's absolutely necessary that you should observe this law if you want the results in life you seek. The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal. If your gratitude is positive, strong, and constant, the reaction will be positive, strong, and continuous. The movement of the things you want will always move toward you. This is because gratitude helps swing the law of attraction in your favor. When you're in a grateful state, you're more likely to attract good things to yourself, which makes total sense. When you're happier, you tend to let things roll off your back more, which means you don't become flustered, upset, nervous, or uncomfortable as often. You are also calmer and don't rush through things, thereby avoiding the little pitfalls and dark moments that pile up. Alternatively, to allow your mind to become ungrateful and negativity is to become negative and surround yourself in negative things. Wallace Wattles, in the book The Sign of Getting Rich, said, "The grateful mind continually expects increase." The grateful mind continually expects increase. In fact, gratitude and thanksgiving works through the law of increase. The law says, we increase our life by blessing and giving thanks in advance. We increase our life by blessing and giving thanks. To bring about this increase effectively, we must understand the anatomy of the soul and mind, because true thankfulness is the mind and soul's recognition of its relation to the source, where there is no limit, only increase. If you give thanks in the spirit of generosity, seeing abundance for everyone and everything in your life, the law works for you, and everything and everyone in your life experiences increase. Charles Fillmore said, "It has been found by experience that a person increases his blessings by being grateful for what he has. Gratitude, even on the mental plane, is a great magnet. When gratitude is expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it is powerfully augmented. A person increases his blessings by being grateful." Even the custom of saying grace at the table has its origin in the power of increase. For example, a woman who had been left with a large family and no visible means of support related how wonderfully this law had worked in providing food for her children. In her moment of extreme need, she had asked the advice of one who understood the law, and she had been told to thank God silently for abundant supply on her table, regardless of appearances. She and her children began doing this, and in a short time, the increase of food was so great at times that it astonished them. Her groceries bill was met promptly, and in the most marvelous ways, the family was supplied with food. Never after that time did they lack. A simple word of blessing poured out upon that which we have or that which we can conceive has possibilities for us as sons and daughters of God. We will release the superabundance of spiritual substance and supply from our source. Willie Nelson said, "When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around." Two sailors ran into each other in a pub. One of the men told the other about his last voyage. After a month at sea, he said, we discovered our masts had been eaten through by termites. Almost nothing left of them. That's terrible, said the second sailor. That's what I thought, the first sailor said. But it turned out to be good luck. As soon as we took the sails down to fix the mast, we were hit by a squall so suddenly and so hard, it would surely have blown us over if our sails were up at the time. How lucky. That's what I thought. But since the sails were down, we couldn't steer ourselves, and the wind blew us onto a reef. The hole in the hull was too big to fix. We were stranded. That's bad luck indeed. That's what I thought. But we all made it to the beach alive. At first we were whining about our terrible fate, but then we became grateful to be alive and on land. It was a miracle. And guess what? We discovered a buried treasure. Thank God. That's what I thought. Friends, when we express thanksgiving, even in times of challenges, Spirit immediately begins to pour out blessings onto us as a response to our level of gratefulness and appreciation. Thanksgiving is more than a day of joy. It is something to be expressed all the time and in every demonstration. Melody Beattie said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Yes, Thanksgiving gives rise and makes sacred whatever is to be restored or increased. It draws the mind and heart into closer relationship with the source. It brings us into harmony with the creative energies of the universe. Therefore, we must be forever mindful to not let limited thoughts stand in the way of our opportunities for increase through praising and thanksgiving. When Jesus was informed that the multitudes that followed him into the wilderness were hungry, he asked what they had. The answer was 5 loaves and 2 small fishes. This was so inadequate toward feeding 5,000 people that the disciples would not consider it. But Jesus said, bring them hither to me. And he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks, then blessed and broke them in half, and gave the loaves to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the multitudes. They were all fed and had 12 basketfuls left over. The central idea in this lesson is the capacity of the law of increase to use gratitude to bring about large results from small beginnings when the increasing principle of thanksgiving is set into action. Jesus could see beyond the material to the spiritual. He could see beyond the bread and the fish. To Jesus, there was nothing trivial about even the smallest morsel of food. It was a gift. This is true for every good thing that we might enjoy. All things point beyond themselves to their source and giver. By giving thanks, Jesus demonstrates the connection we have with Spirit. And each time we practice it, we become more aware of the reality of God all around us. Why is this important? In 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 4, it says, for everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. According to Paul, thanksgiving makes the ordinary sacred. To make something sacred is to make that thing spiritual. And anything that is sacred or spiritual is dedicated in advance to the service of God. Taking the time to be thankful and appreciative for things you have received, tangible or intangible, makes you feel positive emotions, relish good experiences, improves your health, helps you deal with adversity, opens the way for greater prosperity in your life, and builds strong relationships. Here's why it's great to be grateful, not only at Thanksgiving, but all year long. Number 1, being thankful gives you confidence. When you're grateful for the things in your life, even if it's something as simple as a beautiful sunset, it gives you more self-esteem. This means you will be more confident and less worried about comparing yourself to others. Being grateful is contagious, and others will want to be grateful just like you. Number 2, thankfulness makes you a more positive person. People who are thankful are more positive instead of negative. When they see a glass with water in it, they say the glass is half full. Negative people will see that same glass of water and say it's half empty. We want to be thankful for the water that is there, not worry about the water that isn't. Are you with me? Number 3, thankfulness is healthy. Thankfulness has been a subject of much scientific research. Scientists have found conclusively that thankfulness is better than a multivitamin. It has a beneficial impact on almost every major organ system in the body. Thankful people, they actually live healthier lives. Number 4, thankfulness is God's will. Evidently, God created us to be thankful. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, it says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in you." Ever wonder what God's will for you is? It's God's will for us to be thankful. We can be thankful in every situation because we know God's love is working for our highest and best. Buddha said, "Let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die." So let us all be thankful. Friends, let us rise up and give thanks. More importantly, let us give thanks in advance for everything and everyone in our lives. Thanks in advance for our food. Thanks in advance for our health. Thanks in advance for our family and friends. By giving thanks in advance for life's blessings and gifts, we are invoking the Spirit and sanctifying the presence of God at the same time. Not just Thanksgiving Day, but every day, let us thank God for our life, for our lives are sacred. We have so much to be thankful for. Robert Quillen said, "If you can count all your assets, you always show a profit." He means if you look at all you truly have, you are never at a loss. Every day, let us thank God for our well-being. Thank God for providing us for our physical needs. Thank God for our loved ones. Most of all, thank God for His grace and many blessings. For as we express thanksgiving and gratitude, we are enlarging our supply, expanding our territories, making sacred the substance, and activating the universal flow of spirit. Then what you have will end up being more, much more, and you will have activated the law of increase, increasing and prospering everything and everyone in your life. Friends, are you willing to do this with me today? That's what I thought. Thank you all, and God bless you.